Jen.
Paris.
All right. I'm Barf. I appreciate that, but I'm not going to mess with it now. So let's kick
Okay.
this off. You want to count down?
Okay, so I'll be Barf, okay?
Okay.
And we're just gonna get creative here. Pope, you got the show notes I sent you?
Yep.
Yes?
It's on my teleprompter.
Fancy.
Right.
It's my iPhone on a stand.
Hey.
Sure. Oh, you don't have music. Okay, so we'll start. Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Welcome to episode 119 of the Converted Podcast, the World of Warcraft podcast for the Convert to Raid Guild on Airy Peak, US. Today is January 8th, 2018, and you know what? It's like 9:40 ET, which is 6:40, server time, because we're starting late. And the reason we're starting late is because our friend Bartholomew is not able to be with us tonight.
That is true. We had some tech things, but we are back. We are ready to go. And in this episode, we have an action pack lined up for you. Doktorpope, heating up your ear hole. Heating up your ear holes. Your converted shoutouts, and Echelon with the raid report for the new raid. And I got some anniversary events to talk about.
That's right. And it's been 2 years since his last converted appearance. Welcome tonight, Mythic Raider, Mythic Healer, Doktorpope.
Really? I am glad to be here. Thank you for the invite. Thanks for the... Every time I come on this dang show, this is what happens. I don't know if it's me. It's you know what? I will tell you, it's probably the crappy hotel internet with the football game coming on.
That's true. Every time we've ever had you on, you've been in a cheap hotel, and we've dealt with your internet, and we've had technical difficulties. It's kind of funny at this point, the technical difficulties we've had. Just not necessarily because of you, but
just today.
Because of you, though.
Yeah.
We do miss our dear friend Bartholomew. He's part man, part dog. He's his own best friend. Maybe he'll jump in later on. We would adore that. That would be the best if he's able to do it. But, maybe he won't. Maybe he'll take a day off. Maybe he'll play some Zelda, because that's what he does. Anyway, I'm Sal, okay? And with me tonight, as always, is, she's the person we all want to be when we grow up. It's Turarts the Hunter.
That is super sweet. I need to figure out who I need to be when I grow up now. I am sick, but I am here. It has been way too long. We had all the holidays, all that stuff in between doing this. Mondays, come on, we can't have holidays on Mondays. It should be against the rules. But yes, guys, I have just a quick bit about me. Still doing the streaming game. Reached 200 followers on the Twitch feed, which is great. And RCTR 5-year anniversary.
200 followers on the Twitch feed?
Yeah, on Twitch.
Hey, that's amazing.
That is
awesome.
I had we did some streaming Saturday. We celebrated that, and I cussed like a sailor because I was getting stuck a lot. But we got there. We're good. But yeah, and I've just been action packed with the 5-year, because we kind of do a precursor kickoff stuff Friday, Saturday, and Sunday the real deal happens, and we'll talk about that here. In a bit. We will. But, guys, you want to get us your shout-outs. We've had a ton of action on the Twitter sphere, but we still love more.
Wow, yeah, we have. Yeah.
We still love more, so you can do it now at converted_CTR. And Sal, lovely Sal, how have you been doing?
I'm awesome. Thank you so much. I just want to take this moment to shout out to Where's the Cajun. Where's the Cajun is totally the unsung hero of our show. He gets that word out. He's tweeting the heck out of it. He puts it on the calendars. He's always communicating with me. I'm really appreciative of Wares helping us out with that. Barf is in the chat room right now. And Barf, feel free to troll. Troll as much as you'd like. I'd love it. Let's see. The thing I wanted to really say is Happy New Year! It's
What?
2018. This is our first show of 2018.
We're
And
kicking it
it's an
off.
all-female show, isn't it?
Thanks.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
My
Um,
boobs are tender. Thank you.
The the
Mine
very
too.
the very first the very the very first thing I did in the new year was I guested on the Dark Moon Herald.
Yes.
Right? The Dark Moon Herald podcast has been around for like 6 or 8 years, it seems, as far as World of Warcraft podcast, and they're about World of Warcraft. You know, Kevin the Ringmaster plays HOTS, or there's maybe some Overwatch or whatever, and Rodney, but it's a WoW podcast, and they bring in WoW people and talk about WoW. So that was pretty cool. And I wore like a funny purple hat because that's what's going on. And if you haven't listened to the Dark Moon Herald in a while, I'm just gonna say give it a go, because Fist was on there yesterday. They do a live show on Sunday morning at like 6 a.m.
Early.
Pacific time. So it's 9 a.m. for me, but still, like on a Sunday, I'm single, I'm in Brooklyn, I'm in bed. Okay? But I was on there 2 weeks in a row, actually, or two like shows in a row, and I had a blast. I can't even tell you. It was fun. It was super, super, super fun. The other thing I've been doing is I've been playing HOTS like a mad woman. I'm playing HOTS with anyone who'll play HOTS with me. Like, just please. And I've discovered Zarya. She's a tank, but she's a ranged tank. That's completely different than what we're used to. I'm super pumped about that. But let's see. Barf says his eyebrows are covered in Zelda armor. That makes sense to me.
Elbows, but close.
Elbows. Elbows are covered in Zelda armor. This makes sense to me. Because I've been watching a lot of Barf's stream. Turrets, you've been streaming a lot.
I have been playing Warframe, which is a free-to-play game. Of course, it has like something called Plat, which you can buy and you can get stuff. But otherwise, you can 100% free to play it. And it is amazing. It's very quick. I had to get used to mouse sensitivity.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I have been loving it. And then, of course, as we get to the 5-year, you guys are going to see tons of streaming for that, I'm sure. If it's not for me, most of our staff streams. So we'll have tons of stuff. It's going to be popping and locking.
Okay, here's the deal. I don't stream, but it's mostly because I started to stream, and then Navox was like helping me stream. And I'm like, this is terrible and bad, and like OBS is hard. What I want is to like pay money for a thing that just... Sorry, excuse me. Let's bring Barf back in.
Bring him in. Call him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm gonna have to
I
mess
tried to
with.
stream. I just have a prostate problem, so Doctor Humor just goes nowhere.
How about the time I sent you an X-ray and you're like, "Oh, did you swallow a paperclip?"
It's yeah, shit.
How many times a day do you make that paperclip joke?
Usually not with my male patients.
Oh. I understand now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm calling. He's not answering.
The thing is, I was like, Turarts, I cannot send him my X-rays. I cannot send him my X-rays because of this thing. And she goes, oh, I sent it to Jules too. And Jules goes like, he is a medical professional. You need to stop it. And then I sent it, and then the first thing he does is make fun of my IUD. Thank you.
Weapon of mass destruction? What? Oh, the paperclip. The vagina thing. Yeah.
The vagina
Sorry.
thing. Oh. I will call you again, hon. Let me call again.
We're getting Barf in here because it is worth it.
Okay, I'm calling again. I'm not understanding either. Blame your interwebs.
Let's see. Prostate, Vagina. All right, I'm going through it.
You talked about your breasts were tender too.
My tender boobs.
Yep. I think we've hit almost all of them.
Why are we talking about prostate?
About stream. I have a steady stream.
Oh. That's a prostate issue. I'm not getting calls, but everything else is good.
Can you try adding him instead of me?
Oh, maybe. I mean, I don't know why that would be a thing, but let's see.
Skype is Skype, and I...
Because of Skype.
We
The thing is,
love
he was
it.
in here. It would make sense to me that he could come back in. I don't even know how one adds.
Down at the bottom next to the red phone, you're going to hit the add participants, send files, and more. And then the second one up should say add people to this call. The plus.
I wish I could see the comments scrolling down the side.
I mean, you could just read them. I mean, get your extra glasses though.
Let's see. People ha-ha'd at the vagina.
You know, my cousin is he's a urologist in Trenton, New Jersey, and there's something called MPS, micro penis syndrome.
Oh my god.
It's an actual thing.
What's the cure?
Really nothing. You just have a tiny baby penis.
Try it again, Barf.
I struggle to understand why you brought that up.
I'm trying to get as many dirty words in.
Grammatic.
You understand that even though this is something we'll edit out, obviously. Okay. We're still in a guild chat.
Mm-hmm.
Not that micropenis is necessarily. I mean, if we're talking about a medical condition,
It is. It's a medical condition.
right?
It's like-
And it's a medical condition you suffer from, and I understand that it's painful for you, and you want to talk about it.
Oh, Lord.
It's a grower, not a shower.
I wouldn't know either way.
Oh my gosh, is
Poor
that Barf?
Barf.
Okay. Alright, now I gotta
He's like
fix
listening to
things.
this going, what the hell did I get myself into tonight?
I love that you're drinking Diet Coke and completely sober. Barf, does this mean you're here?
Maybe.
We're gonna see.
You look
I'm
different,
a little
though.
upset that I'm a constant disconnection from the show. It's because now that I'm not the broadcaster, I'm using the good microphone. See, the thing with
Good
the eyeball
camera.
on it is the microphone. Everyone knows that. I'm not a dummy.
Oh, so
I'm
it's the
not
good
silly.
microphone. It's a
This is the good.
good camera.
Yes, it's the good microphone.
The good camera is now looking at you.
Yes.
And the chat room, I'm sure, will be very happy to know that Pope has a micropenis, because that's what we've been talking about.
We are a family-friendly group after all.
Yeah. Just trying to add
Sounds
some
rough,
levity.
That made me... Okay, I need to add... Where are you at?
Touchdown, Georgia. Should we not say these things? Are you waiting?
Georgia, that's a place. I assume they play sports.
J-Man is totally like, okay, guys, don't forget this is live. And he's right.
Good. Somebody needs to be.
I won't use any more medical terminology.
Add...
Paper clips.
See, exactly. I didn't bring up the paper clips.
I didn't bring up vagina.
Sort of implied.
Okay, there's that there. Oh, we're
Family
having
friendly.
total inception right now.
Man, that's an awful lot of pretty faces.
I'm... this isn't what I wanted.
Now it's just poor Dr. Pope.
I can't... Oh, I want that deleted.
Do you know who my favorite person is?
Ugh.
Every single person in the chat room right now who is still with us. That's
get
Do
what
to
the
window
person
capture?
Patient.
Kleptic is who else's hand got crushed by Dr. Pope at BlizzCon? Did you step on Kleptic's hand?
No. No.
It's
No.
because you hate his raid team.
They-
I knew it.
Oh,
They
I can't
shook
wait to go
hands in a
live. When
strong,
we go live,
virile fashion.
Sal, boy, I'm gonna make this a not so friendly family show.
Okay, real talk. We need to get back into the family friendly because we are CTR, and it's my fault. And J-Man is correct.
What?
And about being family friendly. So
Okay, that's the best we're gonna have.
you can get on Barf's stream and talk about this all you want.
Yeah,
But this
do that.
particular stream has to be
What does
CTR.
define family friendly?
We're
Depends on the family.
Oh, we don't go by my family. Oh God.
Mhm.
okay. Yeah, Kleptic. Oh, that's funny. Okay, I'm gonna keep that in my mind. What Kleptic said because he said it to me twice already. Assaulter of men.
Okay, we're good. We're
You good?
part 2. Barf, kick it off.
Okay. No.
No?
I'm gonna kick it off, just to keep the consistency going.
Okay,
Okay. And what did I say before that?
you just finished you talking about you and
Oh.
Hots.
Oh, okay. Finished me talking in HOTS, and then I'm gonna say, but the other person with us is the. Okay, here we go. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. And with us now is one Mr. Bartholomew. Hello.
Yes. Hello. Guess what? Everything exploded, but it's okay because we swept the dust off and everything's going to be just fine. How you guys doing tonight? I missed all of the chat so far, so I have no idea what we've discussed.
It's your turn to tell us what you've been up to.
Oh man, I had a fantastic holiday, man. A great New Year, a great Christmas. If I can take 2 seconds, it's gonna be longer than 2 seconds. We did Christmas at my parents' house, and my mother goes kind of crazy for Christmas decorations, right? And it's really nice because you walk in the front door and there's like 3 trees in the living room, and then there's one in the kitchen. There was probably a tree in the bathroom for all I know. I didn't actually find out, but I might have. So, but we actually did a gift exchange out on the back porch, which sounds crazy until you realize that it's like an enclosed porch and they had space heaters and it was actually very nice, warm and cozy. And we're sitting out there and we're doing our gift exchange, and it was me and my parents and my sister and her fiance and his cousin. So it was 6 of us. And we're sitting there and we're doing the exchange, and you guys are familiar with the thing with the pickle, right? Everyone knows about the pickle?
Yes, I know about the pickle.
No, what? Pickle? What?
Oh,
No.
the pickle.
You take a pickle and you put it in the tree.
An ornament. A pickle ornament.
An ornament, yeah. And the first person who finds it gets an extra gift. It's like a competition.
Nope.
It's all for the children's.
That must be an East Coast thing. No.
I think it's actually a European thing that we stole.
Yes, yeah.
Which, I mean, culture. So, my sister loves looking for the tree pickle. She really gets into it. The branches, man, and she's like hunting behind the ornaments, man, and she's like up into the garland and everything, and she's going, I can't find it. My mom. How old am I? 31, 29. She's 29. So she's digging for all she's worth, man, and she's going, I can't find it. Is it on the tree? My mom goes, it's on the tree. Is it in plain sight? It's in plain sight. You don't have to dig to the bottom, like under the tree stand and everything. It's in plain sight. She's looking for like a good 10 minutes, man, just digging through this tree. And finally she sits down and she's looking at, she's going, and then her eyes light up and she turns slowly toward my mother and she says, it isn't on this tree, is it? My mom goes, I didn't say what tree it was on. She jumps up out of her chair and tears ass through the house to get to the front room, and it was in one of the trees in the living room. And all that happened, thankfully, after I got my beautiful, wonderful Zelda shirt that all the video audience can see that I get to wear. That was an example of all the craziness that I got into this holiday. But you know what? I'm getting the idea that probably the folks are tired of hearing about me because tonight's guest, as many of you know, is the supplier of the BlizzCon drinks, the master of the chair dance, Mr. Doktorpope. Dr. Pope, how you doing?
Doing good after. I'm trying to keep this family friendly. I've been reprimanded a few times tonight. I just blame it on senility and age.
Goodness. Well, you know what? Let's start this off. Tell us a bit about yourself. Where do you live? What do you do? That sort of thing.
So, this is the 5th time on the show,
Yes.
and I get the same question almost every single time. You know, we can throw up the Kaz video again and watch Hogger or something like that. You know, why don't we turn the table on you fine ladies and gentlemen? As you know, I posted a few questions on Twitter. As you know, through some runs and some meetings with folks, there's some very nasty rumors. One that's true, one that's not. So let's get the let's talk about the testicular elephantitis in the room, and talk about my hate of CTM, convert to mythic.
Excuse me, what is CTM? Convert to mythic? What?
So Sal has been propagating a erroneous thing. Now, trust me, when they formed, we were goofing, you know. But hey, they had all the top players in the guild, right? They were progressing. Consider it the Bill Belichick sort of syndrome, where you got the top players. It was a jealousy thing, right? And then of course Sal had to take it and blow it up into something that it's not. So every time I'm in a raid or doing a Mythic Plus, and oh look, who was it Saturday night? Sal Kleptic or which old CTMer?
CTMer? I don't know.
Navok. Was it Navox?
Navox was there.
Right.
Yeah.
And then poor Brav on Twitter. So I don't hate them. It was a competitive jealousy. So the other rumor is that I was a strip. What?
It was Lokrin was there. Crab people. Me,
oh yeah, Lokrin. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was and we're gonna go through this real quickly because you know this is about you guys tonight. It's not about me. Right?
Everything's always about you.
I was a dancer. I was an entertainer, right? I understand that I didn't look like Magic Mike. We didn't look like Magic Mike back in the 80s. I was more of a Scott Bio, Donny Osmond physique. So, and trust me, swimsuit models, Victoria's Secret models, they were not your clientele. But enough of me. Let's talk about you guys. 4T's sick tonight. Sal is drinking something out of a red paper cup or plastic cup. So I asked Twitter to respond to a couple questions or to provide some questions. Now, Barf, how many hours, sir, do you think you've played Zelda? How many hours of your life have you, I'm not going to say wasted, but put into that game?
Couldn't tell you. Started when I was 7, haven't stopped.
So, Sal, if you would do your time played in WoW, how many days? How many years?
But like you think about it, I have WoW open right now. I'm podcasting.
I'm just guessing. I'm just asking you to guess.
I'm gonna say that I did do a slash played on my main the other day, and it's over 2 years.
So if you weren't on Twitter, I posed the question: if you could add all that time to play this game, this thing we pay $15 a month for, these pixels, these playing around, you know, with people online, if you could add that to your lifespan, but never, ever, ever know anything about WoW, the people, the associates, would you give up that to add that onto your lifetime?
Guys, we're talking for a lot of people. So my main is like 2 years of actual played time, which is, I mean, that's kind of a crazy amount of time to have played a video game. But a lot of people have, you know, other tunes, and they'll have 5 years even played over all their tunes or more. Who
That's
knows?
5 years. Yeah.
Would you add 5 years to your life?
Yeah. No, I know. Like, I think it was Lonnie who responded that, or I can't remember who it
It was
was about
Ash.
meeting Ash about meeting her loved one online. Right?
Okay,
Could you give up the game? Could you give this up?
I'm gonna let y'all go first.
No.
I know.
I have a long, complicated answer for this one, and it's no.
No.
It's just not enough. Like 5 years to lose. I started streaming because of this. I'm on this podcast and the game. No, it's not enough time.
All right. Kind of a dumb question. So, I wouldn't give it up either. If I look
Oh.
back at the number of people and friends that I've made through being on the Warfront or even in the guild, I don't think I would give it up. You can't put a price on experiences. So, I mean to bring it down.
I mean, you put it all together. So just on some license, just my shaman, 2 years. Okay, I could add 2 years towards the end of my life, to that count. But the amount of time I've spent on this podcast alone, would rival that. The amount of time I've spent talking to people. I have a very good friend of mine whom I met a year and a half ago in line at the Warcraft movie premiere in New York. And he's introduced me to friends from there, and I have a D&D group from that. And all the things that Warcraft and Blizzard has brought into my life has been so positive. And I'm pretty sure everyone can say like positive things about that. Kleptic definitely put like a GIF with the bird going, "No, I would not delete it at all." But I can say I could probably talk for a very long time about all the relationships I've had.
No, it's
GDR.
it's an honest thing to say. I don't mean to step on your words and everything, and it kind of goes in hand with the relationships that we make within the game, the folks we goof on and everything. Have you ever been in a situation where you have lied to someone about your gaming? Oh no, I don't play that game. Or have hidden the fact, like in a job interview or people talking about computer games. Have you ever hidden that kind of fact from people? Have you ever been embarrassed of like talking about gaming?
No, not me.
Yeah. No.
It's
I
a
have
pretty
one.
Go ahead, Bar.
I have one tie clip, and it's video game related.
Yeah.
I wear that. I mean, the tie clip is literally on my tie, but I wear my gaming identity on my sleeves, man. Most of the time, literally. God, I introduced hi, my name is Casey. I play Warcraft. I introduced myself to. That's not true, but I easily could, and people wouldn't question it either. None of my friends would be like, "That's weird of him to have done that." Everybody I know is like, part of my personality. It's part of my identity. Too importantly, like Sal was saying, we've met too many amazing people. We've had too many great experiences to not fully embrace it. So that's the way I dive right into it.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to kind of, number one, put to bed this stupid we hate CTM in Warfront, and kind of getting your guys' perspective. But I've taken up too much time on my stupid questions.
No, you haven't. Stop. Okay, first of all, I want to know you. You are okay. We call you Doktorpope. That's your name. You showed up in scrubs and a lab coat tonight. Don't think we didn't notice. Okay.
Just came right from work. Actually, I'm not wearing any pants, but that's where we're left.
I personally didn't need to know that. Okay, so I want to usher.
More.
Excuse me, Barf.
Nothing. I didn't say anything. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, I want to know the same question from you, man. Like, are you telling your peers, surgeons? Are you telling people that you work with about your gaming habits?
No, I don't. Maybe it comes from just being an old fart, the older than average gamer. Trust me, there are other surgeons who play the game, and I don't play with them. But you have to take a look at the average sort of age of the people in the CTR guild. Yes, we've got it from probably 12 to 80. Who knows? Who knows? But I grew up where and when we were sharing the nerd from Revenge of the Nerds. There was a stigma, and I mean, trust me, in high school, early college, I was a dungeon master in a Dungeons and Dragons game, but there became a point where it was just like I almost felt it was a negative connotation. It's like to bring it back to the number of hours. Trust me, I hit played or how much played, and I'd be shocked on how much. So maybe it's a generational thing, but yeah, I hide it. You know, I feel like I feel like people think I'm somebody's dad walking around at BlizzCon when I'm walking around there, but then I meet guys like 112 and a couple of other guys out there my age, and and to take it all the way back to CTO, I think that's one of the things about the community is, we're not a bunch of 12-year-olds. We're a very diverse, both socioeconomic, race, creed, religion, whatnot. You know, so shame on me. That's unfortunately it's the group that I hang with. So.
What do you mean the group that you hang with?
When you deal with medical professionals and you're dealing with that kind of community, it's like, all right, I could be in my hotel looking at clinical papers. Now, for the next 4 hours, I'm going to stare at a monitor with my newfangled mouse, clicking, yelling in Discord, right? but having probably 100 times more fun looking at those stupid papers. But I'm going to get up in the morning, I'm going to put my scrubs on and my Crocs and go into work and everything. And that whole part of me just kind of fades away. I'm telling them.
Stop. Do you legit wear Crocs?
No, that's not.
Okay.
It's just in the shower.
I can't say that I blame you, honestly, for the more quiet nature of your IRL/gaming habits, because I mean, I recognize, as I'm 31, I recognize that gaming has always been marketed directly at me from when I was 6 until now. So if that's the case, like, Nintendo deliberately marketed the Nintendo Entertainment System to be a toy, and it was a toy for children. That's how they marketed it. That being the case, I totally get it when people who are a little older than I am engage in this perception that gaming is a little bit less serious. It's not as, because like you were saying, like, oh well, the medical field, you're expected, the perception is that you're going to be very serious and very focused and very grounded, and video gaming is not seen as any of those things sometimes. So that fighting against that, well, dealing with that perception and dealing with that the stigma of the nerddom, like you were talking about, that makes total sense to me. Like, I can't imagine not being the generation that games was so focused on. I couldn't imagine being that person.
Yeah, but you look how much the effort and time that you put into your streaming and your casting. The only reason I brought this up, I was looking at one of the tweets. I guess it was from Brev, where I think she's at Bree on Twitter. And in her description she goes closet gamer. And I was wondering, how many of us, are that closet gamer? I don't know who's calling me. Then order a pizza.
I'm gonna call you right now.
The escort service. I told them to wait after the show's over. But no, it's that wasn't bad. That was family friendly. But no, it's a challenge. Now, we can all let our nerd flags fly when we're at BlizzCon and everything, but I can help. I don't know. Maybe I would love to hear from guys like 112 and Like even guys like Tink, a businessman, does he go? He gets his tattoo and everything. So, how far do we fly that flag, in our personal lives?
I
That's just something
used
to.
I used event planning in my last job interview for the CTR Guild, and I will on my breaks at work. I constantly have my spreadsheets up, and a former coworker was like, "You don't get paid to do this." I'm like, "No, I just do it because it's fun." As I'm like highlighting and telling myself, "Okay, I can only mail 20 things an hour, so this 20 and then this 20." It's fun. I love it. But no, I use it as job interviews.
Uh, you're talking about like medical professionals. Tink is in the slat in the chat room now, and he says that his tattoo, his horde tattoo, is under his sleeve, which makes sense. Tattoos generally, a lot of people do kind of like hide them or whatever. He says it's awesome when someone recognizes it. And I know that Tink's friend and mine, Belschnickel, also very much wants to keep that part of his life kind of under wraps. Not under wraps so much as like
separate, compartmentalized. Like this is
compartmentalized. Yeah, where to be honest, and I don't know if this is good or bad. Okay, I choose not to. I tell people straight up, like, hey, I'll be in a job interview and they say, what do you like to do? I say, I play games, and Barb says, hey, I'm 31. And this is part of like my thing. Okay, well, okay. I turned 40 in like 3 weeks. And I'm going to say that Nintendo was straight right at me. Atari was right at me. I had an Atari and stuff. So the people whom I interview with, the people whom I interact with, in business, even, people talk about like fraternities and going, oh, what college did you go to? Blah, 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 blah. If I say, World of Warcraft, and they go for the Horde, and I go, listen, you're a Horde, and I can forgive you for that. Okay, but at the same time, maybe they're a Horde, and there's that faction bias there. Yeah, but it's like, oh, Warcraft, yeah, it's totally there. I'm
sorry, go ahead.
I think that we are, have entered a place where it's started to be considered a real hobby, like a hobby, like wood cutting is a hobby, and cross stitching is a hobby, bird watching is a hobby, gaming is a hobby. I don't think we're 100%
up there with the bird watchers.
Well, we're not there 100% yet. It's not totally safe, and there's still lots of people who choose to hide their real names, and I 100% understand that. But yeah, I mean, it's an interesting question. I think we can do a whole show on something like this. Tinkerbell in the chat room, your friend and mine, says, I don't think there's a good or bad thing. It is unfortunate when folks gotta hide part of themselves, but when I actually explain to folks willing to listen, they respect what it really is about. Keeping friendships alive, making new ones, community support. That's just it. If you say, yeah, I play video games, there is this connotation. But if you say, I'm part of a community, I've got friends, I make new friends, it's a support thing.
Case in point, we've all probably gone to see Star Wars, and we've seen the trailer for Ready Player One, the Ernest Cline sort of gamer extraordinaire movie about the Oasis. And if you haven't read the book, I highly recommend either the audio book or the book itself. I can't tell you how many people, during watching the trailer before Star Wars, when Tracer shows up, I had people all around me going, ooh, Tracer, it's Tracer. I was like, holy crap, man, there's more gamers out there than I really understand.
Stop. Are you saying that you saw that in a theater and people said, like, Tracer?
Oh yeah, it was an instant recognition, even above the Mach 5 from Speed Racer or the the A-Team, Tracer popped up and it was just like everyone kind of you know glom right onto that. And it was just amazing to see how many people really even knew who that tune was. And then case in point, went to a Starbucks in Austin, Texas a few weeks back wearing my Warfront shirt with my name on the back, and got into people, the barista asked me what it was and what I was playing, and it's took a few seconds to kind of go, it's a game. What do you play? And you say Warcraft, and what team are you on? And all of a sudden, I got into this in-depth conversation about Mythic rating, and I got to go home and watch 3 hours of videos because Thor, our raid leader, and then our healer group, which are a bunch of OCD healers that watch every video, have every spreadsheet out there. If we don't know our timing, and I go like, you know what? All right, I'm pretty proud of what I've done, and and just to kind of get back to the whole thing with the CTM, you and I have talked, and Barf was in there during the blizzard and everything. Let me tell you what. I even though it's a game, I'm pretty damn proud of what the team Warfront has done up until now. Where from the amount of effort from people who probably would have never looked at a spreadsheet or done an analysis, are worrying about that coding for weak auras when boss abilities come up. It's an unfortunate situation. I wish the lines could be blurred a little bit more. Because I tell you, yes, there are a lot of groups that are casual, and I ran with a couple. I've hugged with a group. It's a guild Moxie, and there's a whole bunch of people that I've hugged with, from normals to doing the mythics. It takes a lot of effort and research and time. And you got 20 to 30 people who take 2 to 3 hours, maybe twice a week, out of their lives. And the last thing you want to do is you don't want to be that schmuck who just didn't read something or didn't know anything, didn't see a single video. Because you know what? You got 19 other people who have invested 3 hours of their life. So, am I an oxymoron of myself? Yeah, probably so. Do I wish, like I said, the lines were maybe blurred more? Sure. I wear my Warfront shirt to the OR. I check my Apple iPhone app for my not my garrison, but the little followers. I want to make sure I get as much AP as possible.
Your order hall.
My order. I've had a nurse get onto Discord to let the team know that I'm running late.
Really?
Yeah, let me tell you what. We all heard that story about, I think it was the #1 Mythic guild out there during the Mythic race, and how they spam botted one of the other healers because they wanted to have the spot while they... You know what? In Warfront, if you don't show up, if you don't pull your weight, you are going to get kicked to the curb. And then that just goes to show you, about the amount of effort you got to put into these things.
I know Bruce just said something in chat I want to comment on about 51 people saying he isn't too old. I grew up where my parents would take their Super Nintendo to my grandparents' house, and they would race each other in like Dig Dug, and because you can only have 2 controllers, you can't have 4. So they would just make up their own games within games to play against each other. And like my grandma had her first brain aneurysm while playing Dr. Mario. Like I grew up with video games, it didn't matter how old you were, like you just played them. And then when she recovered and came back, the first thing she did was get on Dig Dug and kick my grandpa's butt. Like, that's something I don't understand, this too old stigma, because I remember going to not just my grandparents and family friends' houses that I had too, and bringing whatever system it happened to be, and 2 TVs, and us kids were not allowed to touch because it was adult stuff.
I just read a book recently where about Tetris, actually, and one of the things about Tetris is that it totally spanned the generations. Where there were grandparents, in the 80s going, wait a minute, no, I want to play Tetris. Give this to me. And then they're getting the Game Boys and whatever. so they could play it because it was a puzzle game, and there's a lot of things that go along with that. I love that we're mentioning a ton of Nintendo when we talk about these older things.
Well, how many years has Warcraft been out? How many are we at? What,
14
12
this
years?
year? No, I think.
14.
Oh God.
Okay,
World
Warcraft.
of Warcraft was
Or
2004, 2005.
Okay, so we're only 13 years in, but
Okay.
that means that there are people who are playing the game who now have kids who are at that age that they're probably playing a lot better than some of us old guys. Yeah,
Oh, listen,
I don't know, man. Some of us are mythic raiders, and you might want to.
that's true.
Some of us are.
Yeah.
I got schooled by my
Stop.
6-year-old niece at a Gang Beast on the PS2. So I went and got it on Steam. so I can like learn how to play it really well. So next time I'm like, here, you play it on computer this time. You play it without a controller, and see who wins. Yeah, no, kids are always going to be better. I have to tell you something, Pope. I've had this fantasy.
Oh my God.
Are we getting it away from the family-friendly thing?
I've had this
We'll be
fantasy
back.
about messaging you. You know, like when you watch those doctor shows, when you watch those like surgeon television shows, Grey's Anatomy and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
They'll have like they'll be in surgery, and there'll be like a scrub nurse like next to a bunch of phones, okay, and they'll be checking phones as they come in, and they'll go, oh, hey, your wife says blah blah blah, and like, oh, here's a message, but it's not super important. And I'm like, I have this fantasy that I'm gonna message you something super super nerdy, and your scrub nurse is gonna see it and go, are you gonna heal tonight for the Mythic Plus dungeons?
So, yeah, it usually doesn't happen on Grey's Anatomy, though it might happen. And if you haven't seen The Good Doctor, about the autistic surgeon, very interesting. Some problems with it, but no, I had to turn Discord notifications off because they would pop up. And let's just say that we've got a couple of individuals in Warfront, one who I think was almost kicked out of the guild for his tune name Pornhub, Pournhub.
Wow.
I remember Pornhub.
And so we had to create a separate channel for the most part called Inside Elta's Brain, and we've kind of sequestered all of the inappropriate stuff there so that turn off notifications so I can at least know, hey, you're on the 20-man roster, and I don't have to say, hey, I've got some anime pictures I'd like to show you. Bam. No, don't want that showing up whenever I'm in the office.
Okay, but does that happen? Do while you're in surgery, do nurses look at your phone?
Oh, hell yeah. Because, yeah. So,
Just in case something scandalous should happen, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Some
Get around the
inappropriate
block.
photo or anything, and I just want to make sure that I don't miss raid.
Okay, so if I know you're in surgery, because sometimes I do.
Here we go.
Oh God.
No, here come the inappropriate NS safe for work.
I'm
kind of
just
stuff.
saying.
Trust
What
me.
else
Everyone who works in the healthcare profession, Tink knows this, in what he's done. We're all pigs. Come on. Everybody has a life, right? You know what? I'd rather them see that I am playing World of Warcraft than, hey, you need to pick up your 8-ball tonight, or hey, your Tinder date is, waiting for you in your car
Stop.
outside.
Is that a thing? Like Tinder date stuff and 8-balls?
Listen, every...
Not in his
No.
OR. but in the next one over. Yeah.
Absolutely. Listen, hey, listen. Whether you're working your first job at a local movie theater or you're the executive vice president of the
My
company,
first job was in a local movie theater.
and mine too.
My first job was delivering 8-balls to surgeons.
I'll get you that money, I promise, Barf. No, listen. You know, we talk about this whole gender discrepancy and what we hide, and would we give up our plane to get our lifetime back, and you know, are we embarrassed of certain things? You know, I don't want to close out the discussion because I think it's worth talking about. But you know, you do what makes you happy as long as it doesn't hurt somebody else. And if you figure that you are contributing to a community, if you are contributing to a raid team, you know, so be it. You know, trust me, there are folks in the warfront that they are, you know, they probably are inappropriate in what they say, and you know, like Sabi Wabi and his mayor of Micropolis and all that kind of stuff. There's, you know, these people are all investing time. Right? These people, they wouldn't be on a team if they did not fit culturally into the team. And we are investing our own $15. I've been playing for 11 years. 11 times 12 times $15, and how many stupid cosmetic hats? You know, this has been a sweat and financial investment. You know that. You know, it's like, you know, Sal, you brought up being a fraternity. It's like being in a fraternity, right? We all get hazed. We all do stupid things together. We probably say things we wouldn't normally say around our other vanilla friends or whatever. I think we're getting pretty deep here. I think, you know, I don't want to focus on me, you know, and what I do. It just, you know, you got to be what you got to be, you know? Barf's walking and you look in his living room area there, and he's got Nintendo all over the place. And he brings a, you know, we all saw the movie, you know, 40-year-old version when she comes home, sees all his action figures, and not dolls. They're action figures, you know.
The difference between me and him, mine aren't still in the boxes.
I know.
Ah, I thought you were going somewhere else with
True.
that. Never mind.
Me too.
Good job, family-friendly folks who aren't me.
Friendly program.
Oh my gosh, I know. I'm trying. I am so trying.
God
But,
dang.
all right.
Okay, the idea that you
So-
are perfectly happy with this being not about you is ridiculous and false. However, you did say you encourage people on Twitter to ask questions. And I think we should kind of go with these. Like, some of these make sense, some of these don't. Okay, but Kara says, let's just all just answer these questions. Are y'all okay with this?
Yeah.
Twitter questions? Okay. Kara says, best Star Trek movie, go.
The Voyage Home, the one with the whales.
Okay, really?
Oh, for God's sake.
Yeah, because that's the one where Scotty picks up the mouse and says,
It's like,
"Computer."
computer,
That's the best part.
computer. Okay, it's like, to me, it's like, other than Wrath of Khan, because that's
Wrath of-
undisputably
Enough
the
said.
best.
Yeah.
I
I'll
don't
step
know.
out
I
of the
feel like
conversation.
Benedict
Oh.
Cumberbatch could have had a better performance.
my Echo, my Amazon Echo just went off because I went computer. Yeah. So you're gonna say the one with the whales that was all about save the whales, okay?
Yes.
And then Wrath of Khan.
Yep.
Okay, Pope.
I'm Wrath of Khan.
I mean, that's kind of undisputable, unless you really like whales and just totally political and what.
All right. How many of you guys cried when Spock died until he told Kirk that he was his best friend?
And he's like,
Any of you guys cry?
oh,
Yeah.
oh, yes, I did.
Okay.
I
See?
100% did.
Even nerd cries, you know. Yeah, that's, you know. Yeah. All right. Most anticipated movie this year coming out that would appeal to the nerd community.
Okay, like you're obviously asking us to say Ready Player One.
Absolutely. And if you don't say that, you're daft.
Well, I
It's the
mean,
only
there's
movie I
tons
can
of.
think of that's coming out this year. What else is coming out this year? I actually
Oh,
haven't
Black
yet.
Panther.
Infinity War? No.
Infinity Wars.
Yeah, Infinity
Black
Wars.
Panther, Black Panther's
Uh,
gonna be.
There's a ton of good movies coming out this year.
Jurassic World. Oh my God, it's
Oh,
a
I think The
nerd fest this year.
Incredibles are supposed to actually come out.
Incredibles 2. Yeah,
I do like
baby.
Incredibles.
You didn't?
Yeah.
I do.
Oh, I was
do
like, I need to kick you off this call now, guys. We're gonna. Anyway, Ready Player One. What about Ready Player One?
Oh my God. Do you guys not know what Ready Player One is?
We just talked about
Yeah,
that
but-
earlier. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
okay. Good.
I've read
All
the
right.
book.
I've
Bart,
read the
you-
book.
You've
Okay.
read the book.
Okay. Enough said.
Have you read the book?
Yes, I have.
Pope, have you read the book?
I listened to it in the car.
We're just a bunch of nerdy book readers up in here.
Mhm.
Here we go.
I know.
Okay, so Cuddles actually wanted to say, ask us favorite anime or animated series.
I want to say Attack on Titan, though I haven't seen it. It looks pretty darn good.
Okay, you haven't seen it, so it can't be your favorite.
That's the only thing I've ever
Attack
seen.
on Titan is pretty good though, so it's.
Okay.
I'll allow it. I'll allow it.
I
If we're gonna
Everyone
split them
else.
up, anime versus animated series. I'm gonna go with Gurren Lagann for anime and Avatar: The Last Airbender for animated series because. You know what? I think I might be done with the podcast. That show needs to rewatch like immediately, so I gotta hop on, watch that show, and watch all of it. Like right now, I'll catch up with you guys later.
So Princess Mononoke changed the way I looked at animated anything forever. So that's my.
What about your WoW resolution for 2018?
Wait a minute, we haven't. Are you skipping?
What?
Number one, T hasn't answered.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's
I'm horrible at podcasting. Unless screwing it up. See, I'm sorry.
Oh no, it's fine. Animated
God.
series. I'd probably go Phineas and Ferb. I have a 5-year-old. We watch a lot of weird things. There's something called something Polly. It's about a police car and it's awful. And I wish he'd stop watching it, but he won't. But Phineas and Ferb. Let's go with that. There's just enough adult humor that it keeps me going, and I giggle, and he doesn't understand why. Anime. Don't know what the name of it is, but there's on Netflix. It's a Dracula, and the first episode, like this woman comes and is stubborn, and then they get married, and then they burn her at the stake for being a witch. And yum Dracula, yum yum. Don't know what it's called though.
Okay.
That's all I have.
I just want to say
Castlevania.
that
There we go.
Winchester in the chat says he likes My Little Pony. Kleptic says Avatar State. Yep.
Rick and Morty.
And everyone's going Castlevania.
Yeah.
Castlevania. So
I'm
that's what you're talking about.
Out of it. Names. It's fine.
Chester makes a good point though. One Punch Man. One Punch Man's really good.
Now, Pope, what did you have to say after that?
No, I'm sorry. I didn't say anything.
Something
said a
about New
thing.
Year's resolutions. Who has New Year's resolutions?
2018 WoW resolutions.
I don't think I made one of those. Get through the 5-year. Get through the 5-year.
No, I don't believe in resolutions. We're just gonna fail.
Okay.
Set yourself up to fail.
That's true.
Do you have one, Pope?
No, absolutely, because they all fail.
Right.
That's-
Oh, touchdown!
Someone got a touchdown.
Says
Oh, great.
Tink. On the game that you wish you were watching right now. Barf, do you have a resolution at all?
I didn't officially have one. I have some goals. I'd really like to hit max level on my Blood Elf Paladin. And you know what? I probably should be spending more time in guild. I always have this feeling like, you know what, man, I really didn't dedicate enough time to doing guildy things this week or this month or whatever. So I'm going to do my best to fix that.
It'd be nice to, talk to guildies more.
Participate.
Yeah. like we're on raid teams or whatever, and that's within like a specific group. But we would do this, which is big. But how about talking to people in guild that we don't know? Like that's a thing. That's the thing. Tink wants to know what our most embarrassing moments at BlizzCon are.
Ooh.
Tink, do you have any from the stream of being BlizzCon?
Barf has one. Barf has one. Oh god, I abstained from this one since I was not there, but go ahead and share. Sal, do you have one?
Everything at BlizzCon is amazing. Okay, no, okay, stop. Okay. I wish I hadn't taken the navel shot out of Sushi's navel.
Doc's face. Oh god, this is great.
Ew.
I wish I hadn't not been there.
You weren't there.
That's what he's saying.
I
You wish
know,
he
I
had
wish-
been there.
Oh, you wish you had. Blazin
Yeah.
has a video of this, and I really wish it didn't exist.
That's
And
I need to see
yeah.
this.
like, listen, hairy man navels.
Oh my god.
There's
Okay.
not a good man navel in the ever out there. And
Did
just
you- Did
and
you?
Johnny Kinsman klept it. Kinsman. That it was that night.
You made sure
it
there
was
was no
that night.
belly button lit, right?
No, I used my pinky.
Okay, I
Or
just
Scoop
want
it all
just.
out. Yep. Mhm.
But that wasn't my proudest moment, probably. And I get a text from Blazin every now and then with a video. So there's that.
I got
I
nothing.
answered Doktorpope.
I haven't done anything that I would have that I regret or I was embarrassed of. Maybe eating 3 pieces of that really crappy Sbarro pizza on the sidewalk. I got nothing, you know.
How about the weird
What?
chick you made out with 2 years ago?
That was a girl.
Oh. Barf, you got anything?
I accidentally misidentified somebody, and it was done in an embarrassing way. I don't watch any StarCraft. I'm not familiar very much at all with the StarCraft scene. I could recognize probably 2 or 3 people total associated with that game. However, I have heard some names floated around of people who I couldn't identify by their face. One of which is a Korean player called Jaedong.
Oh, Jaedong, yeah.
And I don't watch. I don't have any idea what this cat looks like. I'm just aware that he has a name. So I'm standing in line with a couple of other of the CTR BlizzCon attendees, and I think we were getting autographs from some of the WoW devs who were sitting around with posters. I'm pretty sure is where we were. And we were standing next to this Asian gentleman who had a ton of stuff to say about video games. And we were having this conversation. It was really fun. And I looked down at his name tag, and his badge said, it didn't say staff, but it also didn't say nothing, which is basically what my badge said. It had something on it that made me think that maybe this cat was like associated with the convention in some way. And he was an Asian gentleman, and his first name started with a J, but I forget what the rest of it was. It was, and then his last name was Dongmin, I think, if I have it right. So I put it together in my brain, and I'm like, let's say his name was Jason Dongman. Is this Jaedong? Like, I wonder. So then in the middle of the conversation, I was like, we got to talking about, I think StarCraft came up in the conversation, and I was like, speaking of StarCraft, are you Jaedong? And he's like, no, Jaedong's name is Jaedong. I'm not. That's some other guy. And like, for a second, he had this look on his face that this white kid thinks all Asian people look the same, doesn't he? Like for a hot second, I was like, I'm sorry, like I didn't. So like we get to talking about it again, and we were all laughing about it. But I looked like maybe I was being mean, and I didn't mean to be. But that wasn't the smoothest that I've ever
You're
operated in
not
my life.
mean. How could you ever be mean to anyone,
Well-
like ever?
I could have come off poorly, and it was a chuckle fest, and we all laughed about it. But I could have sounded insulting in that part of the conversation. I felt weird about it.
Okay, you see, the rest of us are like, oh, blah blah blah. We did this thing, and Barbara's
yeah, but
like, I
He
think
didn't
I
know
might,
that I don't know anything
I
about
think-
StarCraft.
I think
I was just
might
like,
have
you're
made someone
Jaedong,
feel
right?
Bad. And Barf's whole thing about the most embarrassing story is like, I really don't want to make anyone feel bad ever. Which is endearing
Okay.
and wonderful, and I mean, yes. Okay.
Thank
So What was the most embarrassing? Best character build to learn for a starter person in WoW. I never know how to say this. Freeland, right? And they're in chat now. It must be Freeland. Samurai_Freeland. FR33LIN. Okay, best character/build to learn for a starter person in WoW. I don't know. Some.
Mhm.
You're always gonna say that.
Are we all just gonna say our own character class and then move on? Paladin. Just
Oh,
play Paladin. Why would you
please.
play anything but Paladin?
No, I tried.
I'm gonna go against the grain. I'm a shaman, and I'm gonna say that they should go for a pure DPS class, like a rogue. I'm just gonna say I think rogue to me rogue is one of my favorite things. I'm not sucking up to Tink. But Rogue is fun. I'm not gonna say it's necessarily easy, but Kleptic says no. I'd also go Warrior. Warrior's a good one because, okay, I've been recently playing D&D. Okay, and I've noticed that a lot of the spell stuff isn't totally like, it's hard to wrap your brain around it, but the melee stuff is like, bam, I understand that. So, I mean, start with a bam, start with a melee, start with a warrior or a rogue, is what I would say. Anyway, I think it's time for Dr. Pope to not have control of our situation anymore. And we were going to talk about mythic rating. Listen, I'm just going to say this. Dr. Pope has a phone that goes off all the time. He's a mythic healer.
But hold on. He has something about Warfront and the anniversary to talk about.
That's what I wanted to know.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted
before
to know.
Before we make him go answer that phone call.
Yes, ma'am.
What's going on? I know. But
So you know, and T, you don't mind me?
Go
spilling
for
the
it. No,
beans?
spill the beans.
So Warfront was able to clear through heroic, I think, within the first 2 weeks ahead of the curve, and I don't know exactly how many, and T, you may know, but I know that we are going to be giving away AOTC runs, probably starting whenever you do the giveaway. We can probably bring 2 or 3 at the point that we could probably do that. And to be very honest with you, maybe just because we were mythic gear and everything, interesting encounter. Not as crazy or hard as some of the other ones that from the earlier releases, but no, Warfront will be giving away AOTC and the bright, nice little purple flying bird that you get for
I
the
love that
accomplishment.
bird. Oh my god. Oh.
I want one. My life's falling apart.
Does it help that we're friends?
No.
Nope.
No.
Enter the
Sorry.
raffle.
Okay.
We'll talk about that here in a little bit.
Wonderful. That's what I get. That is what I get. Okay, so I'm just looking at the show notes. Okay,
Bars.
this has absolutely been a different kind of show.
I'm sorry.
No, we loved it.
No, I had a great time.
It was totally your idea.
You know, it can always be a challenge. You know, trust me, it's number one, you can't follow up on Kaz and Hogger, and you know, everyone wants their opportunity to kind of display their team. And I figured, you know what, let's get a little meta. Let's get a little bit talking about, you know, RL. So I appreciate the opportunity. You know, whether people like it or not, you know, it's left to be seen. But I appreciate the conversation.
Okay, so there is one last question I wanted to ask, and this actually comes from your friend and mine, Tinker Bella. And he says, when I saw you at the Oasis in ATX and those two girls with you told me they had hired you to reconnect with your dancing past. Just wanted to see if they were telling the truth.
You know what? Your reality is your truth. So if Tink, God bless you, man. Trust me, 30 something years ago, 30 pounds ago, you know what? If I can still jangle my dangle and make somebody happy, then so bad. Is that family friendly?
That is
Okay.
my new go-to phrase. I was gonna take that to a different level, but we are still family friendly.
Absolutely.
Jingle my dingle.
Yes, Dr. Pope was a stripper in college. Thank you so much for coming on, Pope.
Oh God, I hope I didn't bore everyone to death. I do appreciate the opportunity again, and
You're never
guys do a great
boring.
job.
No,
And
this was
I
good.
do appreciate that you let everyone know that you're a surgeon by like wearing your scrubs and your
I
lab
just
coat.
got off work. I didn't realize I'm going to be sitting here 3 hours, and while we get technical difficulties taken care of, I
You
wanted
don't
to
have
make
like
sure.
a T-shirt you could have changed
Yeah,
into.
Comcast.
Yeah, no, I don't. I just wanted to set the record straight about the false rumors about the despising of CTM and the competitive jealousy, the Bill Belichick syndrome. But no, thanks a bunch.
Thank
At
you.
this point, I'm starting to think thou doth protest too much. We may have to bring you on again to have you just reaffirm one more time to make sure
Right.
that.
It's like doing Hail Marys.
What I really would love, I would love to have Kleptic and you go head to head.
We'll have to do it converted after dark.
Yeah.
Listen, Kleptic the other night, I was trying to get Kleptic to come in and run some dungeons, some Mythic Plus dungeons with us the other night, and he saw that you were in there, and he saw a few other people, and he says, you are going to try to talk me into being on the converted, and because of that, I'm not coming in.
Smart man.
He's afraid I'm going to try to talk him into it. Kleptic says that you have a crazy, crazy handshake, and his hand is still healing from you crushing it. And that was probably because you hate his raid team.
No, oh no! Listen, my father, rest his soul and everything, always told me, he goes, a firm handshake and eye contact is always important when you first meet somebody.
Okay, there's a firm handshake, and there's, putting someone on their knees.
All I can say
The
is,
dancing days are over. I
yeah.
told you already.
Okay, hey, my friend, thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, it was a pleasure. I appreciate it. Once again, sometimes plans go awry, sometimes ideas and thoughts go awry. So hopefully everything will sound good on the final print.
I can't wait to
Sal
have
does a
to
great
edit
job putting all the
that
letters.
out later on.
Great.
I'm gonna kick you off. You go watch your game. Go whatever team you're rooting for.
Toodles,
Bama,
everybody.
Georgia, one of them. Bye.
Sports team.
Okay, I gotta add Ash, and I'm supposed to talk about some stuff, so we'll do that as I'm adding. Basically, guys, the 5-year anniversary is happening. If you don't know what that is, CTR is turning 5 on January 20th. Oh, do not glitch out on me. It won't let me add Ash.
Let me see if I can do it.
Okay.
It's time for tea!
There you go. Go for it.
Okay, 5-year anniversary, did you add? We'll just figure this out later. It's happening. Check out the guild calendar now. You will notice that some events, like the raffle and the, what's that other thing we're doing? The gift exchange, do have sign-up dates in the description. Raffle has been moved to the 16th, just because it was on the 8th, so it was the front, but it's moved to the 16th right now. So, watch the guild calendar, sign up for things. There are tons of great events. God, let this just drop things where it's supposed to drop things. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Anyway, yes, sign up for events, guild.converttrade.com. I'm repeating myself a ton. We're having a raffle. We're having old runs, new runs, raid runs, all sorts of runs. We're doing lots of running. It's a great way to kick off that exercise goal that you probably already are doing wonderful at. So, guild.converttrade.com. Official anniversary is the 20th. So, yeah, we'll be there. It is awesome. It is great. Sign up for the raffle. We have Panthers. We have Warfront Mythic giveaways. There's a ton of other prizes. And a transmog contest. Not for the raffle, just for the fun of it. Echelon.
Transmog's fun.
Transmog is
Hello.
great. Echelon. It's been 3 weeks, so I imagine you have a ton of stuff to talk about. Maybe not.
I think it's been 4 weeks.
It's been a long time.
A long time. So, yeah, we haven't updated progression since December 11th, so that means that it's another very big raid report. So, we'll start with Sunday Mass has killed all the way up to Eonar, the Lifebender. Rubber Chickens got all the way to Veramathras, so they're working on Coven now. Troublemakers, Veramathras and Coven are slain. Gluttons for Punishment have killed up through Agrimar. HTX, looks like HTX got their Argus. Room with a Moose, all the way to Coven, so they're working on Agrimar. And let's see, there are 3 other teams that have gotten their Argus normal kill. That would be the Rady Brunch, 9 to Midnight, and Hump Day Heroes. Oh, wait, there are 3 more actually. Marginally Competent, Hydral Volunteer Fire Department, and the Fallen Knights. So those guys have all gotten their Argus kill since we last spoke. Let's get on with some of the heroic progression. Room with a Moose is off to the races with Worldbreaker, along with the Rady Brunch. 9 to Midnight is 9 to Midnight Hump Day Heroes. Both got the Pound Puppies, Bellhounds. Gruel's Gone Wild. Let's see, Gruel's Gone Wild got Fellhounds and Eonar. Looks like a lot of folks are going for Eonar after Fellhounds. So let's see, Bacon and Kegs did that. Marginally Competent got High Command and Eonar. TLDR Just Pull got Portal Keeper and Eonar, along with, let's see, Hydral, Fallen Knights, and Resolve. Is that right? Yep. And then we've got Standard Dragon Protocol, finished all the way up to Eminar, along with Threat Level Midnight and Salad Senate. So Heroic Eminar down for all those guys, making them 6 of 11.
Awesome. There's so much
Yeah.
activity. I love it.
Epic Eggplants, they are at Kingoroth, so Kingoroth's down. They're working on Varamathras now. Casually Elite, Hell to Pay, Project Failsauce, From the Ashes, and Raid 6 are all working on Coven. They are all, at this point, 8 of 11. So, well, boy. And let's see, we're down here with Asparagus Initiative now. They are 10 of 11, Agrimar, along with Dark One's Own Luck. So, those guys are working on Argus now. Won't be long. Those guys will be knocking out that AOTC. And we've got 3 new AOTCs since our last report. Facepull, Edamame, and Rectified, all ahead of the curve, and that includes my team. So good job, my team. Good job, guys. And then for our mythic progression, we've got Worldbreaker is dead, Edamame, Rectified, and Warfront. And additionally, Warfront has knocked out Fellhounds and Eonar on mythic difficulty.
Awesome.
That is
So,
an insane amount of progress.
speaking of raid teams, real quick, I'm on NyQuil, guys, so forgive me. Raid recruitment event is happening this weekend, so that is going to be Friday and Saturday night. If your team wants to participate, you can sign up with the link that's on the calendar. If you are looking for a team, you just come join us in Discord at the start time. We get you hooked up. I completely forgot. I didn't forget about that event. I just forgot to mention it. But it is a great opportunity. As you can tell, teams are progressing. Teams are doing great. If you want to get in on the action, now is the time to do it before we get the next drop of the patch with the things. Okay. Raid recruitment. Ash, how have you been? It's been a while. What have you been up to?
I'm good. I mean, we've been raiding, so that's what I'm doing in game. We got AOTC just this last week. That was really good. The team worked hard, and one of our guildies made a little like Antorus compilation video. It's really cool. He tweeted it at
I
Converted,
saw
so
that
if
on
anybody wants,
Twitter. I
did you watch
yeah.
that? That was
I haven't watched it yet because I was at work when it happened, but I did retweet it. I can't wait. Like I was at work. It came out today, right?
yeah. It's mostly healer POV. So he's the guy who made it is Candyman. He's a healer, priest healer on the team, but he got some rogue shots in there and just kind of goes through all the fights, little clips of each fight, and then a little bit of RP, and then the team kind of celebrating at the end with our. We all kind of took victory laps around Dalaran on our mounts.
Cool.
So
Awesome. Well, you know what? Let's bring this to shout outs. Chat room, you know what to do. Throw those at me and I'll read them just as soon as Ash is done with the Twitter shout outs. So get me them in chat and I will hook you up after Ash does his thing.
we'll have to start with Frasley, who shouts out to a number of folks. Kick Tripod for continuing the awesome daily show. That is Overwatch League daily show. I love seeing the creativeness of the guild. And congratulations to the Summoning Stone for 1 year of podcasting. Again, that's from Frasley. And Frasley shouts out to Zephyria for starting a blog, being awesome, and giving so many big laughs.
Frasley really, at this point, he just gets his own, section.
Right.
In-
There's
in-
the
in the
Frasley
podcast.
section of shout-outs, and then there's the rest. of the
Right.
shout-outs.
So then Zeph says, shout out to the people who are in the guild. Love all of you. A special one for Kyafin, Thorn, Theist, Bree, and Frasley. You guys are special.
Theist?
Missed.
Fist.
Wait a minute. Are Thorn and Thist in the guild?
Yes.
Fist, Thorn
I
and
thought
Fist.
they were like diehard. We don't do alliance because
Okay,
they're
Thorn
gross
and
and
Fist are in the
smelly.
guild the same as,
As-
like Pat and all of us are in their guild.
I had it
Pro
a good
quo.
authority
I
that
don't know
David.
why.
Quid pro quo.
She yells for the Horde when she goes to the grocery store. Like, this girl don't play alliance.
I totally know who they are. I don't know why I said Theist, except Feist, and I
You type it out, it's Theist.
yeah, but like it's this. It's like we all know who she is, but at the same time I say it. And then Winchester says, okay, sends this one to Summer Sal for braving the snow to get Popeye's chicken this last week. Thanks so much. Sorry, so much for watching your Periscope. So I did Periscope my quest for Popeye's chicken. Yeah, so it was during the bomb storm last Wednesday, and it was just crazy snow. And I'm like, you know what? I'm working from home because I'm not going into the office today, and I just filmed my 20-minute quest to get Popeye's chicken and coming back home.
You didn't just film it, you periscoped it.
I periscoped it, and I had, people commenting from all over the world. It was nice. Winchester was there. The only thing special about it was, it was during the bomb storm.
Hey, you're sharing the bomb storm with, the rest of the world.
That's right.
Kyphon gives a shout out to Jules and Mark Conan for talking about the hard stuff with respect and grace.
That's right. Eric Nelson's it's weird reading things about yourself. Wants to send one out to Sal for including him in the Mythic Plus runs over the weekend. That's true. I did run a bunch of Mythic Pluses with a bunch of people who are way better at the game than I am. Is the
That's
thing.
the way to do it, right, Sal?
Okay, but
That's what I do. I just bring the really good healer in to the group, and then everything's fine.
okay, so I bring a really big healer, and I brought Doktorpope. Okay, he's yes, he's Mr. Ego, but he's a mythic healer. Okay, but then you talk about like Eric. That's crab people. He's an enhanced chamois who is going to do triple my DPS, and often I do do these Mythic Plus runs, and I'm like, hey, I'm doing okay, but at that point, I was not doing okay. I wasn't doing a quarter of anyone else's DPS, and I do appreciate them. But Sky Mouser says, shout out to J-Man for being so awesome to everyone with helping anyone out with gearing in Mythics. I can't say that enough. I agree.
I have to agree so much because this guy is like, hey, send him a whisper. Hey, J-Man, we're gonna run a 5-man. Can you come? No, I can't come, but I got these 3 people that I'll ask really quick.
Yeah.
And he's on it.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, but I have friends. Oh, okay, thank you.
Listen, Lonnie says, shout out to Facepool for getting ahead of the curve. What's up? I got ahead of the curve. There's something that I wanted to ask you, though, Ash. Before we move on, I noticed that you had some answers to some of the questions that Pope brought to life. On Twitter, your face is showing me that you have no idea.
Oh, that one. That one.
I would love to know, for all of the for all of the hours and days and years spent on WoW, would you add those years to your life to get rid of?
If I had to trade off all of the relationships,
I would like to know what the answer to the question is and why.
well, the answer is so easy. It's obviously no. Wouldn't give that up because, I mean, for so many reasons. First of all, I wouldn't be married to this wonderful paladin over here, and I'm getting kisses blown my way.
Oh,
That's right. I imagine I would be, my life expectancy would probably not be nearly as long without, companionship in my life and friendship and those sorts of things. So it's like, it depends on how you ask the question, but I'm looking at it like, well, I think the math is a net positive for me and probably a lot of people if you consider the effect that these relationships, not just spouses, but friends and colleagues and all the other good people that we get to be with in the guild. Without that sort of thing in your life, if you're not a happy person, you don't live a long time. So I think it's a net positive for all of us, quite honestly. That's my answer. There's no trade. No
It's a
trade.
good answer. It's one that I wholeheartedly agree with. The people who you meet, the friendships that you develop, like forged in fire at sometimes, depending on the fight, they're too valuable to give up for what? A couple of minutes extra time? No.
I mean, I've been playing these video games for a while, so when I quit EverQuest, I think I had logged somewhere in the neighborhood of 500 days played. I don't know how much WoW is taken, but I know it's a lot. I wouldn't trade any of it. So, away.
I saw that come up on Twitter, and I wanted to make sure to mention it.
Wasn't sure if you were going to ask that one or there were some others, but
Do you have responses to any of the others? I would love to hear.
no, probably not.
Nothing as good as that one.
No.
Cool. Okay.
Chat room shout outs real quick. We just have a couple. One from Drethen. Shout out to Kyathin for supporting my stream. And then one from Bruce Nee who says, shout out to Turarts for reaching 200 followers on Twitch. Well done, Hod, and here's to making 500. I think that's it. Pretty short and sweet. I love it.
Wonderful.
Can we take a second? The 200 followers.
Yes.
That's really great, and congratulations.
Thank you. So
Hey,
yeah,
good
it
job.
was. It's good. We'll be having up on the year mark here in April for streaming. So we'll see what we can do these next few months. But
Like it just kind of glosses over
I
this, right?
it's a big. I know it's a big deal. I think it's
It is.
a
It's a
lot
big
of.
deal. It is.
It is. It's one of those things like talking about yourself. You're just like, no, I'm super excited. Yeah, making partner year, right? But no, it is exciting, and my goal last year was to expand my gaming library, and I accomplished that. And my goal this year is to get to 500 followers, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, super excited.
That's amazing. I'll tell you that with these shout-outs, I've kind of wondered, the Triple T podcast has a rule about not shouting out to the hosts themselves. And I kind of wonder if we should do that a little bit, except that I totally want to shout out to you for all those accomplishments. Sometimes I want to stream myself, but the reason I want to stream is just to like have a reason to speak out loud about video games. Like, hey, I'm doing this thing because of this thing, and even though no one's talking to me, I don't know. But T and Barf, you're both streaming tons, and you get to talk to awesome people, and you get interactions, hopefully, and streaming does bring a lot of personality into our homes, and I appreciate both of you for that.
Thank you very much. That's super nice of you to say. Really is.
So, I guess we're at the part where we're shouting out other people.
Yeah, I guess
Okay.
so. So is that? Do you have any more shout outs, Sal?
I believe I'm done.
Ash, what do you got, buddy?
I'm going to have to shout out the Infinite Whelpling because cannot find him. And if he would just please show himself and I could capture him, that would be great. Thank you very much.
How about you two? You got anything good?
Shout out to the guild. I know Jermaine just said he put a shout out in there for coordinating the giveaways and stuff. I do it because I love it. Like I do have spreadsheets printed off right now and things, and the 20 character mail limit that I get to enjoy next week will be a hurdle. But no, that shout out to the guild. We're making it to 5 years, and that's from a guild that was literally a bunch of people being like, 200 folks will come and they'll play and it'll be fine, to 5 years of website building and redesigning and staff changes and staff building and department. It's been great. So, thank you guys, all of you, for making this community and making this podcast possible. And shout out to my P1618 team because I'm bugging them a lot and they're letting me. I gotta poke them a lot. But no, specifically to this guild, what you don't understand what you guys do and what you bring to people's lives, and we'll leave it there because we could go into other places. Barf, what you got, hun?
I have two. One of them's pretty happy, and one of them's a little bit bittersweet. I want to give a shout out to Yamo and Sprout, the two newest greeters in the Convert to Raid Guild. If you guys get an invite from either one of them, give them a thumbs up and thank you, and tell them how great they're doing. Or if you just happen to see them walking past you in the streets of Dalaran, wave at them and tell them, hey man, you're doing a great job. Because they are. They're awesome, and I'm super excited to have them in my committee. The other one was, I don't know how many people saw it. I assume everybody here follows Ragnar, Bobby Shafto. Anybody remember that cat?
Yeah.
He used to tank for Rubber Chicken Coalition back in the day, and he played with Master Res Inc. He played with a bunch of raid teams. He tweeted today that he was stepping away from Warcraft, presumably permanently. He had a bunch of response on Twitter about, we're gonna miss you, and I remember all these cool times and everything like that. So I want to give a shout out to the Death Knight tank that was regularly on the top of the healing meters in Blackrock Foundry, where I'm supposed to be, but it was him instead. You're super cool, and I'm gonna miss playing with you. And I think that's all I got. That's gonna pretty much wrap us up for tonight, right? Right on. I want to thank Navox and Geek Chic Lisa for the theme music, and of course to Where's the Cajun for getting the word out there for us each week. You can find us on Twitter at converted_CTR. Turarts is at Turarts. Sal is at Summer_Sal. Ash is at Echelon, and I am at Bartholomew_CTR. Turarts. When's the next episode?
Well, our next episode, Sal.
I'll tell you that January 22nd is our next episode, and that's 2 weeks from now. And guess what? We're gonna have Frasley here. I mean, can you even think about a more positive person than Frasley?
Frasley's amazing. He's gonna have to do his own shout outs though.
I think we should make him.
Yeah,
say
make
his
him
own
read the
shout-outs.
Twitter shout-outs.
Just.
That's
Oh,
not a
Lord.
bad idea.
Yeah.
I mean, he's
yeah,
responsible for most of them, isn't he?
exactly. And I think we could probably coax the guild into really giving him some work to do. So.
Well, everybody, that's going to be it for us. For Turarts,
Bye.
for Sal,
Good night.
for Echelon,
See you later.
and for myself. We will see you next time.
You can follow the show on Twitter at converted_CTR. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Converted Podcast. And find us on our Twitch channel, Converted Podcast. And join us live every other Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern.
This podcast is a part of the Signals Media All-Star Network. For more information on this and other fine shows, go to signalsmedia.com. It's okay to stick our stuff in your ears. Really?
All right.
I think Turrets is about to
I'm
die.
dying. So we're going to end the stream. Thank you guys for
See, I
be
really
quality, but it saved it.
sincerely appreciate you so much.
You kicked a lot of butt today, Tay.
I really need to get in our Dropbox and get a scene set up, because every time, well, this is only the second time. Last time I was totally unprepared. I'm like, oh, I'll do it later. And then tonight I was like, oh crap. Later came now. That'll be
Yeah, the elements should be available. They're just in the folder.
Gotcha. And I saw that, and when I brought it up, I was just like, I don't have time to play with this, so we're just gonna.
Aetheric's been here the whole time.
He has been
Aetheric,
here.
Oh my god, I just can't.
She
can
wants
send
pictures of your baby, all of them.
babies always, every day.
I'm gonna hit the end stream button. But chat room, thank you. This was awesome, Dr. Pope. Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, chat.
Bye, everybody.